What's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to break down our exact outbound dial script that our appointment setters, sales development reps, whatever you want to call them, are using to put appointments on our calendar. And this process alone in this month of April 2025, with 3 outbound dialers, has generated us 154 sales calls just for this month. Now, obviously, there's some companies out there doing way bigger numbers. I get that. But for a lot of you, 154 sales calls in 1 month could very likely change your business. So I want you, as a gift from me, just to have this script and process. You can take it for yourself, give it to your team. Just do me a favor, go use it to make more money. And when you do, remember who gave it to you. So I'm Brian Downard, one of the partners here at Prospecting on Demand. If you haven't already, but you've been kind of watching some of the content here on the channel, do me a huge favor and just hit that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot, helps us reach more people, and gets this kind of content into their hands. So that being said, let's dive right in. This is the bird's eye view of the whole process. So what I'll do in the first run through is just read it through in a perfect case scenario, and then I'll break it down in a little more detail. So just so you know, this first top area is all the introduction. This kind of leads you into the call, and then it branches out here to the right for the qualification piece, and then setting up the sales call, helping them understand the product a little better, and then just the last confirmation details to get them set up on that call. Now, of course, you may run into some objections. So there's a lot of common objections, like I'm busy right now, call me back later. Like I don't remember doing that. I don't remember opting into that. I'm not ready for help. I don't have the funds. We're good right now. We're just looking around. Why did you double dial me? This is one of the things we encourage our team to do. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is a great process for any really B2B service. This is mostly going to be designed specifically for marketing agencies, but you can adjust this and apply it to your business as well. So hopefully this is super helpful for you. Let's do one read through from the very top, and then we will dive into it in a little more detail. Now, last quick comment, these 3 options here are really just about context. So depending on where the lead came from, we're going to share with them a different reason for why we're calling them, but they all kind of branch back into the same process. So let's break it down in 3, 2, 1. Hey, this is John, right? Hey, John. Yeah, it's just Brian from Alex Schlinsky's team. Looks like you responded to an ad on Facebook, possibly looking for some outside help getting more clients for your marketing agency. I just wanted to reach out to, I had a few minutes here between my calls to see if there's anything specific we could help you with. You run a marketing agency, right? Okay, great, good. Our marketing team is not fired this month. Good for them. Joking aside, do you mind if I ask you just like a couple quick questions to see if it even makes sense for us to connect at a later time? It should just take like a moment or two. Great. So I guess what did you see from us that made you feel like we can potentially help? Is there something specific you are looking for? Great. Yeah, definitely something we help people out with all the time. So just so I get an understanding of where you're at, how many clients do you work with now? How are you kind of pricing that? And is there a particular goal you have in terms of revenue, take home money, or number of clients you're looking to get? Now, assuming we're even able to help, what is your timeline for starting to take some steps towards that goal? Like right now, in a week, a month, a year? Okay. And now, obviously, there is a financial commitment required to work with us. Assuming everything makes sense and you feel like we could really help, do you have capital set aside to be able to invest back into the business for something like this? Okay, great. And last quick question, is there anyone else who needs to be involved in this conversation that we should rope in? Okay, understood. Now, based on everything you shared with me, I think the best move is just to get a quick 20-minute call on the board with one of our partners here, Brian or Alex. On this call, what we can do for you is kind of go down, the rabbit hole in terms of your specific business and what it might look like if we were to come alongside and install our prospecting in a box system into the business, and then kind of just what results you can expect if we were to come in and help. Let me ask, what time zone are you in? Okay, so what time works best for you to do a call tomorrow? I have a 2 p.m. Eastern slot, 3 p.m. Eastern slot. Great. So 3 p.m. You sure that's the best time? Nothing crazy going on around 3? All right, got it. So I'm going to send you over an invite right now. Give me a moment. Cool. You should have got a text. Did you get that okay? Awesome. All right. Now, before we jump off, just real quick, how familiar are you with Alex Schlinsky and what we do at Prospecting on Demand, if at all? Got it. So do you mind if I keep it really brief and I'll just share this with you? The main thing we essentially do is install our prospecting in a box system into our clients' businesses. And basically, it's a way that we help package your offer in a way that's easier to sell, easier to scale. We want to, next create consistent revenue and really quick revenue as quickly as we can. to fund inbound ads, because once we can fund inbound ads, we can really get you to a place where you're consistently booking 5, 10, 15 plus sales calls per week. And then we want to layer in our appointment setting and sales process so you can really just grow your agency a lot more consistently. I mean, does that sound like what you are, potentially like looking for and needing help with? Okay, great. We're in the same ballpark. You're going to love the call. Brian's going to take care of you. And what I will do next here is I'm going to personally connect you with Brian. I'm going to do a quick three-way text with you and him just to make sure I introduce you. Is that cool? All right, great. I want you to go ahead and also watch that demo video that you'll get kind of in the automations. A lot of people have obviously some common questions. All of those are covered in the video. And then one more small favor, if you don't mind me asking. If you have to reschedule or if things change, just let us know ahead of time. That way we don't have to worry about you or wonder what happened. Is that fair? Cool. God, thank you so much for your time, John. Looking forward to serving you, and we'll catch up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Adios. All right, guys, so that is just one run through of the entire script. Obviously, there's some nuance here, and in terms of like why we're hitting on certain things, and then the objections as well. So I'm going to run through just a couple of details here. Obviously, your introduction. I like to make sure I'm saying a person's name instead of a company name. It sounds more friendly. It's usually a better pattern interrupts to get them like, wait, who's Alex Schlinsky? What is this about? Or if they know the person, if you've got a decent brand around the company, this also helps because they'll be much more receptive and open to that conversation. Now, the one that I went with, because this is mostly the leads that we are calling, are people who are new inbound leads from paid ads, right? So this is the frame we're going to use. But if they're an older outbound lead or they've just been on your list for a long time, you could use a frame like this, like, hey, looks like you've been in our community for a while now, but not sure if we ever got to personally connect. Or if you're doing more of like a cold, warm call scenario, it might be like, hey, looks like you had connected with my business partner on LinkedIn the other day, and I just wanted to personally circle back to that conversation. So just the context of where did they actually come from. This is more of like a status frame extending the olive branch. You want to make them feel that you are busy as well and that it's not going to take a lot of time from them. So when you tell them like, oh, I just had a few minutes before my next call, it makes them immediately feel that, hey, this isn't going to take a long time. Brian's not going to like talk my ear off forever. And then you're just offering help, right? Like you're here to help. We're here to serve. Sales is a service. So we're extending the olive branch of, hey, I just wanted to see if there's anything we can help you with. Now, what I always do before letting them respond to this, because they'll usually have an objection here, I want to go into what I call a softball question. This is one of the most important parts of this script because their brain cannot ignore a question. And when you get this little micro commitment, you get a little yes on the front end, affirming they are, in fact, the type of person, type of business, et cetera, that you are meaning to connect with and you want to call. So for us, like, hey, you run a marketing agency, right? And so they can't ignore that question. So they're going to say yes to that. And now it allows you to kind of get that foot in the door a little bit where you can roll into the rest of actually asking for permission to ask the rest of your questions. So I don't ask for permission to do this. I just want to get their brain off of any objection or anything else going on in their mind to answer this directly before I say like, hey, like, do you mind if I ask a few more questions to see if it even makes sense for us to connect later? Cool. Now we're into it. Now, again, all of these here, the need and desire, situation, timing, urgency, budget, and authority, these are all qualification questions where we need to get an understanding. Do they actually need the thing that we're selling, right? So this is one of the first things we want to make sure. What are they actually looking for help with? Because if they're looking for like help walking their dogs, okay, we don't sell that, right? So maybe not the best fit. We got to, figure that out early on in the conversation. This is a really great way of understanding kind of where their business is without just directly asking a stranger, how much money are you making? So I like to figure out like how many clients they work with, how they price that, and then help them like understand the gap of based on that pricing and current number of clients, how long is it going to kind of take to get to whatever goal they have set. Obviously, if there's no urgency and they're not looking to do anything in the near future, not worth putting them on a sales call. And if they don't have a budget, obviously nothing we can do with that either. But a lot of times people will just use this as a defense mechanism, like, oh, I don't have the money for that. So we can kind of branch out into this idea of if they say no, like, oh, I don't have a budget for this or any capital set aside. So we can say something like, hey, all good. So typically what people do in this case is leverage some of our in-house payment options or funding partners. And honestly, we can get payments around like $300 a month or less for some people. Would it be totally outside of the realm of reality for you at this time? Or, if the offer is exactly what you need, would you be willing to possibly check out some of those options? because I want people to understand, and this is again what, if you've seen car commercials, they're not going to tell you the truck costs $50,000. They're going to tell you what the absolute best terms of for well-qualified buyers on their financing options are. And so we kind of play with some of these, right? Where we want them to understand, like, hey, we do have options that are much more affordable, but would you be open to checking those out if it made sense for you? So if we loop them back in, they're good there, cool. Last one's always authority, just making sure if there's any other decision makers that need to be in that conversation, we're finding that out and we're asking at this part. Next, pretty straightforward. We tie down the appointment right after they're qualified, move to close in that appointment. And then you want to have an elevator pitch, right? It's very common that, especially if someone came through ads, they're not going to fully remember who you are, what you're selling, or what it's about. So you want to make sure they come in with that reminder so they don't show up to the sales call like, wait, what was this about? I'm confused. And then just confirm next steps, make sure we get some more buy-in from them, some skin in the game. So pretty straightforward. Now, of course, there is likely going to be some objections when you're doing this, right? You get 154 sets up on the board in 1 month. And not every single person's gonna be like, yeah, I want to do this right now. So let's kind of run through some of the most common ones. So one of the absolute most common ones is going to be like, oh, I'm really busy. Like, just can we call me back later? Like, or I'm doing something right now. And so what I like to do is just acknowledge that, relate to them. Like, hey, all good. I totally get it. I'm actually, between calls myself. So I didn't want to take a lot of time from you. Honestly, it might not even make sense for us to connect later. So maybe to just save us that time, do you mind telling me briefly, was there something specific you're looking for help with? So we kind of just loop, again, we push through. We don't just think, okay, cool, well, I'll just call you back later and then never hear from them again. We want to push through it, be polite, relate back to that, but tell them like the logic behind like why pushing this out later might not even make sense, because it might not make sense to connect later. So if they're cool with that, like, and they answer it, great. Now we jump back into our situation question because we already confirmed the need and desire here. Now, if they're giving you another like 1 to 2 push-offs, like, hey, like, listen, John, I totally hear you. The last thing I want for you, though, is for life to get in the way. We end up not connecting, and then you don't get the support you need if this can really help you, So I'm trying to reframe a little bit that, like, don't let, like, this could be the thing that you need. Don't let the wave and the chaos of life take you away and not allow you to get this help if you ultimately just get distracted or we don't end up connecting again. So let's just do this right now. We're here. You picked up. Like, let's talk. And then if they're still kind of pushing you off and they're still like obviously clearly in the middle of something and they have to go right then and there, I would move in for a tentative set, but obviously the no-show rates on these sets are a little higher. And I might say something like, hey, just instead of like chasing each other around, like, would you be opposed? We could just throw something like 15, 20-minute call on the calendar. That way we can come back to this conversation later without hunting each other down. Great. You can kind of then jump down over him to tie down appointment, right? Now we didn't qualify, which isn't great, but that's something we can do prior to the call or have the salesperson be aware that on the call, hey, we need to qualify a bit earlier on in the call, just so we're not wasting our time with potentially a tire kicker. Or you can just set a task in your CRM to actually call them back later. It's not the best move in my opinion, because they could be call screening you and you may need to use a different phone number, or they might not even pick up later. But at the end of the day, like if someone's giving you 3-4 off ramps and they're starting to get agitated, don't push it or you're never going to connect with them even later, right? All right, so another common one, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember putting my name in there. And so again, I like to relate to them. No worries, John. I'm the same way. There's lots of stuff online, right? I guess I'm less interested in, if you watch that whole video or whatever, and more interested in the fact that something about what we're doing spoke to you. So is getting like more help or some help, like bringing more clients into your business, something you're potentially looking for help with even? Or is there something else? Now, again, getting them to open up. I'm pushing through. I'm asking more questions. The person asking the questions is the one leading the conversation. So I'm never going to take that initial push off, and you always relate to them, make them feel heard, be empathetic, compassionate, and then you can move on to your next question. So another common one, like, oh, I'm not ready for help yet. Like, we don't have the funds for something like this. And I just always want to make them explain that a little more, like, because you haven't even told them what it is, right? It could be $1, right? Like, hey, look, we're not selling, private jets over here. So can you explain to me like what you mean by you don't have the funds for this? Or like, can you explain to me what you mean by you're not ready for help? Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem, right? Because we actually have a lot of options for people to be able to work with us. So just like a hypothetical situation, like if we, after a conversation, we're super confident we could help grow your business and you saw, a very clear 2 to 3 plus, X ROI potential, Would you be open to maybe exploring some of the financial like payment options that we have? Worst case scenario, you jump on this call and you get some really good feedback. Cool. So again, just letting them know like, hey, it's okay. We can work with you, right? We don't want to let budget be the thing that keeps you from getting the help you need or getting the product you want or need. So let's look at some options. That way we can take care of you. Another common one is, hey, we're good. We're just looking around. So again, relate back to them and then go into the next question. So, hey, all good. Can you help me understand what you mean when you say we're all good? So again, you want them to elaborate because they may give you the real, the we're all good. Like that's not a clear objection. That's a smoke screen. And so we need to get them to explain what they mean by we're all good. And then this is one of my favorite catch-all questions for pretty much almost any scenario in setting when you just got to get someone to open up, or especially when they're like, oh, we don't need help with this right now. It's like, hey, do you mind if I ask just like one quick question? If there was one thing you could change about how you're currently getting clients, what would that be? And they will then volunteer the challenge that they're kind of going through, right? The whatever the problem they're trying to solve is, and then you can see if there's an opportunity to help them with that. So hypothetically, like if we were super confident we could solve, that problem of, speed to lead and just getting more consistency from the prospects you're getting onto sales calls, would you be opposed to a short 15-minute call about how to solve that? Cool. Now we're moving into the rest of the call. And another common one, this isn't as common, I guess, but someone saying, "Why did you double dial me?" Because we encourage our team to double dial. It'll help you ring past do not disturb voicemails and just get a higher pickup rate in general. Don't triple dial, don't quadruple dial. Double dial tends to be something people are okay with as long as you're not being a total jerk when they pick up. But sometimes people get grumpy about it, right? So simple frame I kind of go through is like, hey, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to alarm you. That first ring kind of went straight to voicemail. It was a little wonky. I wasn't sure if it rang through. I really apologize. Like these dialers get a little weird sometimes, but no, I didn't mean to alarm you. So do you mind if like I just ask, is there something like specific you were maybe looking for help with? And now we're back into the rest of it, right? So all of these kind of loop back over into your qualification questions. And to be totally fair, as I'm looking at it, this one would probably branch more into this guy right here. I just didn't want to make the flow too confusing because we obviously want to get back into the situational questions. So this is what the flow looks like, guys. Feel free, take it, run with it, and go make some money. Hopefully this is helpful. And again, if you liked this, we've got a lot more content like this coming out. Just do me a small favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. This will help reach more people and help get this content into more people's hands. And I appreciate your time so much, and I'll see you in the next one.